practicality ng time, yung approval ng third and final reading sa House of Representatives. I cannot speak for the Senate, but as far as the House of Representatives is concerned, mukhang kaya naman, no? Mukhang kaya naman yung third and final reading.
We have a very hard-working chairman, no? As you can see, no? And he's very, nakafocus siya na gagawin yung trabaho niya as chairman of this committee na in charge of tackling these bills. What we cannot control, however, is how the other house acts, no? Yung Senado. Kung mamamatay ba to doon or ma-actionan ba nila, that's really gonna depend on how they view it also, or ano ang importance ng bill na to as far as the Senate is concerned. But as far as the House is concerned, right now, 24 bills and counting. I don't know if others may still file. And we've done our tours na in the 3 regions, no? Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, meaning we've done our homework, and we're just gonna wait until we actually pass this bill.
Maybe we want to also hear from the authors, no? Congressman Lordan and Congressman Elaco, and Congresswoman Dilmar.
Sa bahagi naman ng Gabriela Women's Party, nagpapasalamat tayo sa lahat ng aktibo at walang takot na lumahok sa lahat ng mga konsultasyon sa Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. At nagpapasalamat rin tayo sa malaya at bukas na espasyo na tiniyak ng ating committee, ng mga host, ng mga organizers, no, para marinig ang boses ng iba't ibang mga sektor. At malinaw ang panawagan na dapat wakasan na ang mga political dynasties. There is a strong message that the anti-political dynasty bill is both urgent and necessary. So the challenge now, no, is for the House of Representatives and the Senate, no, to come up with a bill, no, that would be reflective of the strong call of the people for the highest standard, no, that is to pass a bill that would prohibit political dynasties within the 4th degree of consanguinity and affinity. And that's what we heard, no, from the latest round of consultation here in Cagayan de Oro City. Hindi natin pinapangunahan ang committee, no, pero I think this would be more of a challenge, no, to the people. Kung yun talaga ang ating malakas na panawagan, dapat tuloy-tuloy natin na iparinig sa ating mga representante, sa lahat ng miyembro, sa Senado, sa House of Representatives, para matiyak na makaabot din po ito sa 2028 elections sa pinakamadaling panahon na ito ay maipapatupad. Maraming salamat.
Alright, the next question is Sir James Paulo Yap of the GMA Regional Committee.
Yeah, Kong Dilmar, you want to say something? Yeah. Okay.
Really briefly, we had consultations, public consultations in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, specifically because the committee wanted to make sure that every voice is heard. So we are actually, like what Kong Bambi said, we are not waiting until the law is passed for you to complain. So we want you all to know that you are part of us because we are public servants. So we are the voice of our people, which is specifically why we went out of our way to go to the different cities. So if anything, we'd like to thank Cagayan de Oro because it was a very wonderful discussion this morning. Very different from the other 2 discussions that we had. Cavite Carmona had a totally different view. Cebu also yesterday had a different view. And we'd like to thank the chairman for taking time out to give importance to this bill. And thank you to all of you for being here today.
Thank you, Kong Dilmar. Yeah. So, okay. Kong Nathaniel.
As to the timeline, sir, no, I think given the thrust and the focus of our Speaker, Boji D, isa to talaga sa tinutulak niya. Plus, we're very lucky to have a chairman like this na ganito kasipag at ganito ka comprehensive. And as you can see kanina, this committee is very efficient thanks to Kong Bambi, one of my idols. Na it's not just about hearing opinions but also deliberating on the numbers and the effects on what the bill will look like later on. So expect us to be full on and we will do our best to finish the timeline.
Thank you.
Sir,
Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sir, you mentioned BICAM. May public cam or may public consultation na nangyari. A personal stand, what of the possibility of open BICAM para pag-isahin at ipakita sa publiko ng bukas yung magiging final version ng Kongreso ng anti-political dynasty?
Well, it's so, I have no problem with open BICAM, pero I mean, it's not as controversial as the budget. There's nothing, di ba? I mean, the only thing that we need to agree on is first whether it will be applied locally or even the national elective positions. If you ask me from the House of Representatives, as a chairman, I would, if we want to talk about genuine electoral reform, we have to apply this on all elective positions, on all levels, hindi lang sa local. Kung tatanungin mo, ha? But I don't know with how the Senate would fare. I mean, the anti-political dynasty. I'm not sure whether I heard it right, pero they're contemplating on having the local, impose this on the local, not the office, the national positions. Pero sa akin, it should be. We cannot talk about genuine political electoral reform if we do it piecemeal. It has to be comprehensive, di ba? So that's one. I cannot guarantee you would it be an open, but I'm okay with open, but I'm more inclined with having to expedite this. Di ba? Not so much on procedures, pero paano mag-meet talaga. So I cannot guarantee you when would be the BICAM and how the version of the Senate would be. I'm just discussing to you the timeline of as far as the House of Representatives is concerned.
All right. Next to ask, James Paulo Yap of GMA Regional TV.
Good afternoon, sir. Yesterday, on the Senate's consultation, sabi ng COMELEC na madali lang ipatupad yung batas. Kung hindi ito ambiguous, parang kung hindi siya ambiguous, how are we going to secure na talagang bulletproof or loophole-proof yung magiging batas na ito?
Well, it's any laws, just like this is an ordinary law. It's a product of human activity. So there's no such thing as perfect legislation. Mas maganda yung imperfect kasi may elbow room to adjust, 'di ba? Depende yan, ganun ang legislation eh. Hindi talaga siya perfect. Kung ano yung fitting doon sa circumstance, pangangailangan ng tao, and then you leave a elbow room to adjust kasi hindi mo po pwedeng 100% ma-solve lahat. Number two, yung sa amin kasi kailangan mong medyo specific yung topic, specific ang parameter, pero yung mga provisions, you have to have at least give way for the COMELEC to also adopt their own IRR. Sa implementation stage na yun eh. Ang sa amin lang, we will set the parameters, kung ano yung pwede, and then we will make as specific the provisions, sections in the law as possible. But we would also leave a sort of a room for COMELEC to also adjust and we'll be able to adopt their own IRR guidelines. Kasi dun yun sa implementing rules and regulation. I think what the COMELEC is trying to say, na merong mga ruling na kasi ang Supreme Court, like Pinera versus COMELEC, in terms of yung disqualification or yung treatment ng candidacy ng isang kandidato na tumatakbo. I guess that's what the COMELEC wants the Congress and the committee also would like to consider and be appraised about. Kasi kailangan attune din siya doon sa mga current rulings ng Supreme Court patungkol sa mga electoral processes when it comes to issues of disqualification cases and cases of cancellation of candidacies. So ganun lang yun naman ata yung pagkarinig ko rin.
Thank you so much, Sir James. Next is Sir Haji Kaaminyo of Brigada, sir.
Hi, Kongs. Good afternoon po. Yesterday, Kong Zia mentioned na you're pressed with the time nga po. Kumbaga, very limited na po yung oras po ninyo and your plan is to pass this bill before the Lenten break, no? Meron po bang mga nakikipag-usap pa sa inyo na, let's say, for example, LGUs, stakeholders from other LGUs, since natapos na nga po yung Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao leg, na baka gusto rin po nilang magsalita on the anti-political dynasty bill, or do you plan to collate their opinions through, let's say, position papers na lamang po? Paano po yung magiging diskarte po doon?
Well, in-invite po natin yung lahat ng mga organizations also. Ang ULAP, in-invite natin ng ULAP, ang City League of the Philippines, in-invite din po natin sila, pati yung sa Barangay League at saka kung di ako nagkakamaling pati mga Councilors League of the Philippines, in-invite din po natin sila. Hindi pa naman din natatapos ito Kasi yung tatapos lang yung public consultation, pero continuous pa naman po yung public hearing natin, yung public committee hearing. Ngayon, magde-decide po naman ng committee kung tutuloy po ng isa. Kasi natapos po tayo dun sa mga experts and legal, yung mga framers and constitutional experts and legal luminaries. This time, I think, gusto din natin marinig yung mga other sectors. Hindi pa natin naimbita ang business sector, hindi pa natin naimbita yung sa mga LGUs kasi nag-focus tayo dun sa legal definition nung unang first and second na committee hearings. So baka magkaroon pa tayo ng another one. If not, kasi time mga yung sinabi mo, press with time natin, hindi natin kontrolado yung oras, medyo patapos na itong February, no? So ang gagawin na lang sana natin, mararapatin din ng mga members ng committee, ay nagre-request naman din tayo ng position papers nila. We ine-expect din po natin na matatanggap din po natin yung kanilang mga position papers kasi yun na din po ang sinabi nila na magbibigay din po sila ng position papers.
Other Kongs?
Well, besides the submission of position papers, I'd also like to call on everyone to go beyond the confines of the formal public consultation. They themselves can organize their own consultations, their own fora, their own spaces to discuss the anti-political dynasty bills as well as other suffrage and electoral reforms that we have before the 20th Congress. Number two, this is also a call, if the anti-political dynasty is finally passed, we must stay the course in the fight against corruption. We must stay vigilant na hindi po dito natatapos ang laban sa korupsyon. And if anything po, what's undeniable in all of the consultations, mas naging malakas ngayon ang panawagan kontra dinastiya dahil po sa malalang corruption, sa malala na katiwalian, sa malala na pagnanakaw sa pondo ng ating bayan. Kaya po, hindi matatapos ang laban para dyan sa pagpapasalang ng anti-political dynasty. Let's stay the course, stay vigilant. Thank you.
But since it's very comprehensive po yung discussions, kung kakayanin ba ng timeline given of course it's a part of the priority measures of the under-LEDAC, di po ba? Pero may impeachment po na nakabinbin, marami pong tatalakayin, marami pa pong trabaho. Kaya po ba dun sa timeline po natin?
That's what makes the House unique because we can handle all things all simultaneously. Diba? So, kaya naman yan. There are committees that are in charge of certain bills. Like in my case, I don't worry myself with the impeachment. The focus is this bill. So whether or not there are other things that the House would should focus on, their work. My primary consideration and my primary priority is that how to carry this over to the next stage, which is the committee report. So, gusto ko lang kasi maging inclusive din yung proseso. Ibig sabihin, makuha natin yung posisyon ng bawat sektor. Kasi nga, pinag-usapan natin dito pagpili ng leader election Ito yung pundasyon ng ating demokrasya. So lahat tayo dito apektado, Pagdating sa election, lahat tayo stakeholders. So ayaw ko lang din na hindi mabigyan yung pagkakataon. Maski man lang yung makuha natin yung position paper nila sa mga ibang sektor tulad ng business sector, yung mga LGUs and many other sectors. So, titingnan natin na kung mamarapatin ng ating mga committee. Anyway, just a simple lang naman submission ng kanilang position paper would be suffice for us to at least use also their points as our basis to improve on whatever substitute bill that we can come up with.
Okay. Sir, yes po, Kong Gloria.
I'm also confident that the House will be able to tackle these bills in a prompt manner. Because even though we are members of several different committees and some of us are also chairmen of different committees, my personal experience has been that we have always been capable enough to finish tackling these bills in a timely manner. So kaya natin gawin yun.
Just to add, just to be specific po, there are pending urgent bills that are finally seeing the light of day in Congress. First, the National Minimum Wage Bill. The bill expanding the anti-violence against women to include technology-facilitated gender-based violence. Yan yung mga matagal na po na pinapanawagan ng mga panukala na ngayon ay gumugulong din sa Kongreso. So, dapat naman po talaga, no, sabay-sabayan na umuusad ng mabilis. No, habang, syempre, yung exercise ng due diligence sa pagtitiyak na inklusibo at tunay na demokratiko yung proseso ng pagpapasa ng mga batas na ito. Salamat.
If I may add po, I think that was a good question, and I'm confident with the committee na matatapos siya. Kasi if you really look at this dynasty bill, there's only one very contentious issue. It's just the definition. So if everyone will go through the definition and we see the effects, and we come up with a compromise on what is a good result, especially for this bill, I think then we're almost 100% done with the bill. So apart from other things like the situations na kinikwento from the question earlier from GMA, I think, like kung meron naka-incumbent, may kalaban na kapamilya, etc., those things will be also tackled. But it's really the definition that we really have to find a common ground with. That's really just the one thing that we have to solve.
Kong, sorry, last na lang, I just have to ask this question. Tama-tama po siguro nandito si Kong Jonathan.
Ikaw ata talaga yung nagbigay ng tanong dun sa dalawang estudyante.
Hindi naman po. Ano po, other topic lang po, sorry. May calls po kasi ang Makabayan Block na for the immediate resumption ng Quadcom at saka ng Good Government and Public Accountability hearings on the Remil Madriaga allegations against the Vice President Sara Duterte. So, kayo po ba in favor na ibalik na yung Quadcom at saka yung Good Government given yung mga allegations ni Remil Madriaga and of course yung paparating po na impeachment proceedings?
Ako, I'm up for anything that calls for accountability and transparency in whatever manner that the leadership would see fit. No, I understand there's the call from I think resolution ba sa Makabayan Block for the reconvening again of the Quad. But what we did during the previous Quad is there were specific concerns that each of the committee was handling prior to its formation as the Quad. So hindi siya talaga lumabas as something na pinag-isipan kasi that's the natural result of all the hearings that we had conducted separately in the Committee on Justice, Committee on Public Accounts, Dangerous Drugs, which now chaired by Congressman John Flores, and the Good Public Accounts. So, doon kasi yung nangyari noon eh. Hindi siya yung talagang ginawa for specific purpose or reason. May mga investigations talaga na nakita nung apat na committee na yon na magkakasunod-sunod. I mean, magkaka-connect. Kasi yung invitation, yung invite nila doon sa isang committee, nag-a-appear sa kabilang committee. That's why it was formed into Quad, para mas ma-comprehensive yung pag-usapan, may connect yung lahat ng apat na In this case, in the 20th Congress, we I think that would be the decision of the leadership, no? Kung should they continue on with the Quad with the same subject matter, or would it be also different another case, no? But sa akin lang my personal take is anything that calls any officials to account for in our pursuit for transparency and accountability, I am really up for it. Pero that would depend on how the leadership would decide on whether to continue or reconvene the Quad. That is for the leadership's decision na.
Same here, no? The Quad wasn't really made just to be the Quad, no? Na nag-intersect lang yung mga investigations nila, kaya nagawa yung Quad. And as of now, there are no other matters naman that would require the creation of the calling back of the Quad, because the respective committees have been functioning on their own, then doing their own investigations and handling the bills that have been submitted before it for its consideration. So right now, medyo wala pa, and I think the additional inclusion of si Madriaga will also be tackled when the impeachment complaints will be tackled. I think that should be the right venue for it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sir Hajis. Ma'am Inze Montes of Radio Mindanao Network. Good afternoon po. Good afternoon to all the congressmen and congresswomen. Tanong ko lang po kay Kung Zia, kasi ikaw yung chairman nito, sir. Most of the Cagayanon and other places, negative yung comment sa anti-political dynasty public consultation. Since yesterday, sa social media po. Since yesterday until now. Bakit kasi daw, parang tinatarget nyo na po sa lower house at saka sa upper house, si Vice President Sara Duterte na parang bago lang nag-declare na tatakbo daw ng presidente. Now, sa lower house po, ano po yung gusto ninyong parang i-explain to the public na para sa Pilipino itong ginagawa nyo, publication, consultation po for anti-dynasty. Kasi meron na ngayong mga iba nang iniisip, kino-color na for the presidential bid ni Vice President Sara Duterte.
1987 Constitution, Article 2, Section 26, wala pa po tayo dito, wala pa sa position, nandyan na nandyan na sa Constitution. So, hindi siya targeted sa kanino man. Hindi targeted sa kanino. Malaking usapin itong electoral reform at hindi nagre-revolve itong usapin na to sa isang particular na kandidato. So, hindi ko alam kung bakit kinoconnect nila. Ang layo naman. Diba? Nasa Constitution ito, 26, Section 26, Article 2, the 1987 Constitution. Hindi namin alam kung kailan siya mag-announce. Pero alam namin, meron sa Constitution na nagsasabing kailangan may anti-political dynasty. Walang connect.
If I may add po, no, sagutin ko lang yan, no. Kung titignan mo po talaga, ang pinaka-apektado dito sa bill na to is not her, it's actually the people in Congress. And we're doing this because we love the country and we're willing to sacrifice a lot of things for the country. I hope the media and our friends also from the ground, especially sa SOCMED, will take away the political lens muna. Malayo pa po yung 2028. Ang dami pa po natin kailangan gawin and problema na kailangan i-resolve. And we're just doing our job. Mahirap siya, but we have to do our job.
Thank you so much.
I think this anti-political dynasty bill is necessary and urgent. It's something that we all need for our country right now, especially with everything that's been happening. And there will be lots of people who will be affected, especially politicians, including myself. But we must remember that we must not honor men more than law. And the law requires, the Constitution requires that we have to prohibit political dynasties. The time is now.
At saka, can I ask this appeal na lang sa kanila? Do not sabotage this process, hostage this process to make it appear as if this is intended for one particular candidate. That's not how you put it. That's not, I don't know kung paano nila gawing relevant sa sarili nila. Ito para sa electoral reform ito, wala to kinalaman kanino man.
We filed these bills way before the President mentioned it, way before the Speaker mentioned it. No, I think I filed after kina Sara, no? Early July pa. No, so ito naman is we all come from political families. Most of us come from political families. Bambi's families will be affected by it. No, I will be affected by it. Zia's will be affected by it. Lordan will be affected by it. So how can they say na sila lang na family ang affected by it? No? It's not just for their family, but it's also for our family. It's for every Filipino's family, actually. Because the outcome of this law will benefit every Filipino family.
Alright, thank you so
naman po namin. Abila din, isa sa mga principal author. Matagal na pong sinusulong ng Gabriela Women's Party kasama ng Makabayan Bloc ang Anti-Political Dynasty Bill as early as 2001 na meron na pong pagtutulak no, sa loob ng Kongreso para tiyakin na yung ginagarantiya po ng konstitusyon ay gagawin talaga ng Kongreso. So again, this is not about any family or ending someone else's legacy, no, but the beginning, no, for more chances, no, equal chances, no, for anyone, regardless of their background, to have a fair chance and shot at winning in the national or local elected positions. Thank you.
Last on my follow-up po. Kung may template po ba tayo na country para mas maintindihan ng mga tao na, like, halimbawa, Germany, ito yung target natin na i-aim, like sa kanila kasi walang corruption pag walang political dynasty. May target po ba tayo or may ini-aim po ba tayo na country na sundin natin?
Tanungin po natin yung mga framers ng Constitution kasi sila po yung naglagay dyan nung ano na yan, article na yan, yung provision na yan. Pero may 5 country po na meron atang anti-political dynasty din na provision. Honduras, I forgot the other 4. No? Ha? No, country daw. Barm is not a country, it's part of the Philippines. But we have already, tama, yung kanina, sinabi ko, sa SK law, mayroong may anti-political dynasty. Sa BAR, meron din anti-political dynasty. So yun lang po yung gusto nating, ito yung sagot dyan, ha? And just to add, kasi nakakaasar na rito not everything that is happening in this country is about them.
Thank you so much, sir.
Let me add lang to that, sir. We don't need to actually follow any country. We're designing it to suit the problems of our own country, to address the problems of our own country. So, hindi na kailangan i-target natin kung anong ginawa ng ibang bansa. Ang ita-target natin, isang problema na hinaharap ng ating bansa.
Last question from Ms. Pam Vasquez of DZMM.
Sorry po. Bago po yung tanong, maikling dagdag lang po na siguro ang isang bagay po na dapat tuloy-tuloy natin gawin ay yung voters information and education seminars, school-based man yan or community-based, para ang titingnan po natin, hindi nga lang po yung nakadepende po sa pangalan, pero nakadepende po talaga sa track record, sa advocacy at sa platform mismo ng mga kandidato. Yun po ang dapat nating umpisahan ngayon na. Salamat.
Yes, Ms. Pam.
One question lang po. Ano lang po yung assurance po ng public from the committee and sa House na hindi po magiging hilaw tong political dynasty bill given nga po yung time constraints?
Well, unang-una, what we can assure the public is that we've done what we are expected to do, meaning to say we did not only limit our discussion with the committee, with the legal experts or in the committee alone, but we actually carry this to the grassroots. We brought this out in the open so that all of us can participate in the process. So that's one thing that we can ensure the public na though we cannot 100% accommodate all their inputs and their positions, but substantially what we can do is we would probably integrate and incorporate some of their positions. And lahat naman ng sinabi din nila doon ay nandoon na sa mga 24 versions na yon. Gusto lang natin maintindihan kung paano ang publiko, yung reception ng publiko, at the same time paano nila maintindihan yung pinopropose natin anti-political dynasty. Yes, Kong Bambi?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Siguro sa akin po kasi 24 bills yan Ilang authors vis-a-vis doon sa 300 plus na members ng House. And kaya siguro ang assurance dapat po manggaling mismo sa taong bayan, sa tao mismo, na sila ay patuloy na magbabantay at tuloy-tuloy na magtutulak ng kontra-dinastiya at ng kontra-korupsyon. Maraming salamat.
I would like to echo the statement of Kong Sara na the public pressure will really be a big factor on what kind of version we will be adopting. So, importante po na patuloy na bantayan ng taong bayan kung anong how it's going in not only in the House but also in the Senate. But I will assure everyone that whatever version will actually come out will be the consensus of the members of the House and of course of the Senate also. So kung hilaw man yan or sa tingin ng iba, they would have to siguro help us out by pressuring their respective members of the House, Yung representante nila, yung senador nila, sulatan nila, or paalam nila na this is what they support, this is what they want, para continuous po yung pressure on the part of the House and the Senate.